But then in 2011, the NBA lockout happened.
Right.
Did you think you were going to get picked up by another team after it was over?
Actually, before the lockout, I was kind of hopeful. The lockout actually, it was just in discussion throughout the summer. And then, before the summer. So I'm hoping that, we could get a deal done where we didn't have to have the lockout. Because I knew that, I was 36 at the time. And, I knew I was, getting up there in age. And, after a lockout, it'll be hard for me to find a job, as a player in the league at that point. So I was hoping we didn't have the lockout, and I think I would have had a better shot. But once we had the lockout, I knew my numbers of getting picked up was low. The way things go in the lockout is everybody, once the lockout is over, signings and transactions happen so quick that usually the older guys get kind of pushed out. It happened the first lockout. I think it was my third year. I saw that happen to a lot of the veteran players. They got pushed out, and it happened again. And this time I was on the other end of it. So, but I was hopeful to play another year or two. But unfortunately, it didn't have to work out for me.
Well, yeah. During your career, you played for 12 NBA teams.
Yeah.
Which makes you one of the most diverse players in terms of.
I like how you phrased that.
Yeah, in terms of team experience of all time. Did you consider playing overseas?
I didn't. Once I retired, that was it. I was dealing with knee issues like my last 3 years, maybe 4 years, 4 years in the NBA. I was dealing with a left knee issue that was kind of drastically getting worse as a year in and year out. So once I retired, that was it for me. I didn't want to go overseas to play. I was looking to kind of get into some coaching or broadcasting after that.
In my last interview with Gilbert Arenas, I talked to him about what it was like to retire from the NBA.
It sucks.
He had a ton of money. He was young, great shape, good looking,
Right.
the world was in his hands, but he said he just went into a deep depression. He said that he would drive places and choose the longest route you could possibly choose in order to just kill time.
Right.
Because he was just so used to being in the mode of, okay, the season's about to start, I'm about to get training,
Right.
et cetera, and suddenly all that's taken away. What does a 32-year-old retiree who's worth $100 million spend their days over the next year or two?
Trying to find out who the fuck he is. Miserable.
Really? You were miserable?
Yeah. What I did when I first, retired, I had to try to figure out how to be busy between 9 o'clock and 12. And then it's lunchtime, then I go to sleep, and then about 5 o'clock to 8, be busy again. So what I caught myself doing, not even noticing, not even really understanding it, I'm driving from Calabasas all the way to downtown.
Just to kill time.
Just to kill time. In traffic, just listen to music, got a fucking playlist. Trying to, how it's all right, take this route for shorter, I'm taking the longest route. Huh. Right? Just driving to downtown, driving back. By the time I get back, it's noon. Fucking lunchtime. Go get some lunch. Huh. Go on my TV, pass out, wake up, do it again. I spent a year driving in traffic.
Did you go through that kind of depression?
I definitely did. I went through a deep, deep depression, and still to this day kind of dealing with it a little bit. But like Gilbert said, man, it's like you feel like your world just stops for a while. You go because this is something we've been doing our whole life. From kids going to games, coming, traveling and playing the game of basketball, something we love to do, and for it to just stop. I'm quite sure he wanted to play another year or two as well, and unfortunately the business of basketball, kind of cuts things short for you. And what I went through was major, and I don't want to get into the details because I kind of get emotional, but I mean, I went through a real deep, tough deep depression, and I got stuck there for a while. And like I say, I'm still fighting my way out of it, to this day. But things are, I feel better than what I did when I first stopped playing.
Well, that same year, that's when you and your wife got divorced?
And that was piled on top of it as well. So it was real instant for me. Because I tell people, as soon as the ball stopped bouncing, I was in the court, getting a divorce. And, and at that time I felt like, I let my kids down. I was, letting my family down. And, I put all that on my shoulders because I take a lot of blame for a lot of stuff, that, a lot of decisions and a lot of things that happened in my life. I'm quick to take the blame. I never point the finger at anybody else. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, and that kind of helped spiral it down the way it did.